So Tracy, thank you so much for joining me. You are a business owner of a training studio in Columbus, Indiana. Can you tell me a little bit more about yourself and your business, Training by Tracy?
So I've been in the fitness industry for probably about 20 years. And about 10 years ago, left the big gym scene and started doing personal training on my own. Started in my basement, and then it kind of just grew. And I eventually opened a studio. So we do mostly small group training, but we do privates also. I have a couple people who train here as well with me, and we just a lot of circuit type workouts.
Nice. And how would you say your business has changed over the course of the pandemic from the start?
For Indiana, it hit about mid-March is when we started feeling things. So it wasn't mandated, but it was recommended that not essential businesses close. So we closed voluntarily on March 15th, and we thought it was just going to be for a week to clean everything very thoroughly and then open back up. And by the end of that week, it was obvious that was not going to happen. So I created a private Facebook group. And so I come in here a couple of days a week and I record exercise videos. So give my clients the same workout I would have given them in here. I just record myself showing them all the exercises and I give them the workout. So I've been posting those on a Facebook group for them. And then just this last week when I saw that Vagaro was integrating Zoom, I was like, well, all right, let's give it a try. So we've done 3 live classes so far, and it's gone really well.
That's awesome to hear. So it sounds like you've been coping pretty well with all of this that has happened. Did you decide right away that you wanted to do virtual classes and training sessions, or was this something that kind of came along a little bit later after the whole shutdown has happened?
It was kind of a little later. Honestly, the first week I was just sending out emails to my clients with workouts. And because I'm not very comfortable in front of a camera. So when it was obvious we were going to be gone for more than a week, I was like, okay, we've got to do something better. So I started recording myself, even though I don't like to do that. So it took me out of my comfort zone quite a bit. And then one of the girls that works in here, she teaches some spin classes in here. And she was talking to me and she's like, I miss spinning. I miss teaching it. And she's like, do you think we could do a virtual class? So it wasn't even my idea at first. She wanted to do it. And I was like, well, sure, we can give it a try. And after the first time we did it, then I saw that Vagaro was integrating. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this could really work. So
it was kind of like a match made in heaven. You were already thinking about doing these virtual classes. And then when Vagaro came out with the integration, you're just like, why don't we just do 2 together?
Yeah, it worked so much better because the first time we tried it, everybody had to send me their email address. I had to email them the link to the class. But through Vagaro, they just book the class like they would have booked it if they were coming in here. And Vagaro sends them the link to join the live class. So it works much smoother.
So getting into live streaming and then offering the classes, what was that process like? You were mentioning that it was kind of a learning curve at first, but could you talk a little bit more about what that was like for you, trying to get into this whole getting yourself in front of the camera and doing live streaming?
So getting myself in front of the camera, I probably took 10 videos for just one workout the first time because I just wasn't happy with the way it went. But so I've been doing it now for a month, so it's gotten a little easier. I feel a little more comfortable in front of the camera. But yeah, I just come in here by myself. I set my iPhone on a tripod and just hit record. There's nothing fancy about it, but it works.
That's great. Would you say your clients are also really engaged in your classes as well, doing it this way?
Yes. So several of them are doing really well. I check in with them every day. So when I post those videos, I tell them you need to comment under it when you've completed the workout. And if I don't see them commenting for several days, then they start getting text messages from me harassing them about it. So that's been good. But when I started the live class, that's when a lot of people who I wasn't seeing do much with the videos, they all wanted to do the live class. And they liked that. So that's worked great to get people in that weren't really motivated.
That's really cool. So would you say that most of the students or the participants of your live streaming have been like regular clients from before, or have you started seeing new people as well?
Most are regular clients. However, so it's kind of funny, like we're in Indiana, but one of my best friends lives in Arizona. So when I started doing the videos, she was like, oh my gosh, you can train me if you do videos. So that's been good. And she's got a couple of her friends who've joined in and are doing it. So yeah, it's been, and then tomorrow night for spin, there's a couple new people joining that apparently have their own spin bikes at home because they've joined for the virtual spin class. So
that's amazing. So it sounds like live streaming for you kind of opened up like your demographic a little bit. Like you were able to have people from far beyond your reach come in.
For sure. Yeah. And it's not something I ever thought I would do. So it's one thing I'll say, if I could say one good thing about this stupid virus, is that it's pushed me out of my comfort zone. And I think now that we're doing it, because there are people enjoying it, people that wouldn't normally come into the gym because they don't feel comfortable working out in front of people, I think we'll keep doing it. As long as there are people who want it, then yeah.
That's really awesome to hear. Let's talk a little bit about the classes that you're offering, or the training sessions that you're offering. It looks like you're doing 2 right now. Could you talk a little bit more about those classes?
Sure. So we're doing what I call a group training session. So it's basically the same kind of workout I would have given them if they were here in the gym. So when they log in, I go over the workout with them. I show them every exercise, and then most of my workouts we do on a timer basis rather than counting your reps. So I set the timer, I turn on the music, and we just do it all together. Versus in the gym, like say we were doing a 10-station hit, which if I let 10 people in the group, there's one person in each station. So everybody's doing something different. But when we do it virtually, everybody's doing the same thing at the same time. So, but it works pretty much the same as if they were in here.
That's awesome. And of those 2 training sessions that you're offering virtually, which would you say you've seen like the most success with?
So far, the group training has been more successful. The virtual spin class, this week. I think Wednesday will be only the second time we've done it. So hopefully we'll start to see more people with that. Like I said, there's 2 new people doing it tomorrow that have never come to the gym before. So, so far it's been the group training, but as people like it, I think we'll add more as it becomes popular. So
that's awesome. And besides like, asking people to comment on your live stream and such, like, how are you able to get feedback from them? Do you send out like surveys or emails to see like how you're doing with these live streaming classes?
Most of them, what I've done with every class so far is just when we're done working out, I tell them to unmute their mics and tell me what they think. So we just kind of have a little chat session at the end of the workout, and they can tell me their thoughts, what they think I should do differently to make it better for them. But I'm a small enough studio that they'll text me if they have a problem. So usually text messages is how I get information back and forth. So
okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So I kind of want to talk about Vagaro's like live streaming integration. What made you decide to choose Vagaro's live stream integration versus like other competitors?
So before I did the integration with Zoom on Vagaro, we had tried a Google Hangout workout, and I didn't think it went as smoothly. Like I said before, it was like I have to send everybody the link, and then they have to log in. Like it felt more complicated for them and for me. So integrating Zoom, I had done some Zoom groups too, but I was just using the free Zoom, which cuts you off after 40 minutes. So when I saw it integrated, it made things so much easier for my clients and for me. So it made it worth it.
So the experience with the integration so far has been pretty easy for you.
I got an email about it, and I went and read what Vagaro was saying about it, watched the tutorial video, and then went through and tried to integrate it myself, and still had a few issues. But Vagaro's customer service walked me through it, and it was fine. And we've had no issues since, so it's been good.
That's awesome. Were there any concerns that you had prior to the integration process?
No, I was actually really excited when I saw that email. I was like, this could work out great. So no, I had no reservations about it, and I was excited to try it.
So you go through the integration and you finally set up everything. How did you go about like letting your clients know about these virtual sessions that you were going to host? Like, how did you advertise yourself?
Well, first, I integrated it on a Sunday, and the girl who does the spin classes and I played around with it. So I booked a virtual class, and I told her to get online and book it and see, so we played with it and kind of did she had a class that I logged into, and I did a class that she logged into. So kind of played with it first. And once we felt comfortable with it, then I put it out there on my social media. Just told everybody that we're going to start offering live classes and that they could book them on Vagaro just like they booked their other sessions with me. And so it's worked out pretty great.
Do you do like regular reminders to let your customers know that you're doing virtual sessions?
So yeah, they'll get a text. Sometimes they get text messages from me that will remind them. And then the main platform I use is the Facebook page. So they're all on that. And so that's usually where I post it. Sunday I posted all the virtual workouts for this week and said, here you go, sign up. So
nice. So I've noticed on your, I was kind of checking you out and on your Facebook, and I noticed that you have like a private Facebook group. So is this the space you're using to remain in touch and connect with your customers while we're at home? And I think it's also very smart that you're sharing all of this material with them at the same time. So you share videos and workouts, like a plan with them.
Yeah. So right now they're getting 4 workouts a week from me. And then on Fridays, I give them some sort of stretch, yoga, Pilates, something. They get like a 15-minute video of me walking them through some stretches. So they're getting 5 days a week from me. And then if they choose to do the live classes, then they're getting a little extra. So they seem pretty happy. I mean, it's not the best. We would rather be in here together working out, but it's working and it's keeping everybody active when we're stuck at home. So
yeah, for sure. What would you say the best thing about the integration so far?
I think the best thing so far has been how it made everything easier. It made my clients being able to do a virtual class so much easier.
That's great. Do you see any potential for this to grow beyond what we have now? I know that earlier you mentioned that you're thinking about continuing your virtual sessions. Do you think you're going to expand on that after this whole pandemic is over?
I think it certainly could happen. Yes. I mean, as long as there's people who are interested in doing it, then yeah. And I think the interest is growing. There are, this week, we have several people signed up that are not people who would normally come in here. Some of them are people I know. Some are just friend of a friend who heard about it and want to try it. So yeah, I think if there's a market for it where people who don't want to come into a gym but still want that interaction and feel comfortable, because the other nice thing about the integration virtual classes, they can mute their camera. So no one can see them if they don't want to be seen. And I think that also helps. So they're still getting some interaction from me as their trainer, but they don't have to work out in front of people. So I think
I understand that anxiety. I definitely fall in that group for sure. Would you recommend Vagaro and its integration to your peers and your colleagues or others?
Yes. I love Vagaro. I don't know, am I allowed to talk about your competitors that I used before you?
Oh, you can talk about anything you want here.
So I used MindBody at first, and they just kept raising their prices, and I had to find something else. So when I found Vagaro, you guys have been a dream. So I feel like your app is so easy to use. I feel like anytime I have a problem, your customer service is great. Your pricing is great. I think it's great the way you guys are helping out I know that your clientele is mostly people like me who are suffering big time right now. So the fact that Vagaro was willing to reduce our payment rates during all of this was great too. So yeah, I recommend it to anybody.
Thank you so much. That I definitely want to pass that message along. We definitely see the impact this pandemic has had on our customers, and we are working day and night trying to figure out ways to continue to help our businesses. So really appreciate hearing that from you. So thank you.
I think you guys are doing great. Like, before I even had to think about it, there was an email telling me that you were reducing what I was paying. And so, especially when there's so much on your plate, when you have to close and their income is drastically reduced and like so much to think about, not having to worry about that piece was great. And then the way you guys are trying to help us is even better.
Yeah, it's a pretty difficult situation. I just want to thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me and for doing this questionnaire interview with me. And I just want to know if there's anything else you would like to add to this.
I don't think so. I think we've covered it all.
Awesome. Thank you again, Tracy. I hope you have a great day, and very excited to hear that all of your classes have been working well for you, and I can't wait to speak with you again.
All right. Thank you.
Great. Bye.
Bye.